So we were at Station 31 in Lviv to hand over the appliances to the Poltava guys, the Kharkiv and Dnipro crews. It was just good to give them a handover of the equipment, a familiarisation of the operations of the different machines. And we also did a little bit of maintenance with them, and it was good to catch up with the Poltava guys, especially. That's where I was back in 2021. So yeah, it was good.
SERA, we start back at HQ in Edinburgh, and we do a lot of work there, and it's really by word of mouth from ourselves, Gary, and the word gets round and guys want to come and join us, and obviously we'll promote SERA in every way we can. It's not everybody that likes or can fit in. But when we do get the guys, as you can see, the 15 guys here and the 6 that went home, they've virtually just met for this trip, and everything clicked because what we're doing is just for the guys, for the end product of supplying the guys that don't have the correct equipment and appliances, and it works.
The preparation for the trip takes quite a long time. We spend many weeks in advance preparing the fire engines and the equipment we will bring. We also go to different parts of the UK to source the equipment. Then of course there's the planning, finding out how many drivers we need, how many guys can actually volunteer to come. So it takes a lot of time and not so much energy, but we all chip in and do 5 or 6 weeks work prior to leaving.
So the vehicles were fully equipped prior to leaving Edinburgh. There was some bits and pieces had to be gathered together on just prior to departure, so that kind of held us up for a couple of hours. The vehicles then went and got fueled up to maximum capacity. Then we gathered together and left in convoy. And on the way, one of the vehicles had to stop just south of Edinburgh to collect more equipment, ladders and pump hoses, etc. And then eventually we all grouped together on the A1, and by the time we were passing Dunbar, we were in a full convoy at that point, and all travelling together.
Hello. The hardest part about the driving, I think, was basically just the distance you had to travel. You know, as drivers, we were three in a convoy. Three drivers each to each vehicle, so we could continually driving. We had a few mechanical issues with one of the appliances, which meant our speed was limited. So we had to pull in quite a number of times in order to rectify the issues that we had, which we did successfully. I think, as a driver's point of view, roadworks, tailbacks, and just the length of driving that you had to do over the course of the 3 days or whatever to get here. But in order to overcome it, I mean, I've been driving vehicles like this for a long time, so experience counts. And I just think that, you know, great group of people, and we just managed to pull it off. So for me personally, I enjoy doing this. It's what I was born to do, you know. I'm an empath, I like to help people, always have. It's one of the reasons I joined the fire service in the first place.
Okay, so I think the easiest part of this trip is sort of fitting in with everybody that's involved. The communication between everyone, the camaraderie, the banter, that's probably the easiest and best part of every convoy that I've done. And yeah, just fitting in. Everyone makes you feel welcome. There's no sort of hierarchy where people are trying to be sort of bossy and order you about, and every decision is sort of a group decision rather than one person demanding. It's a consensus between everyone about the best way to move forward and achieve the goal. So yeah.
Yeah, this trip went quite well. The only thing that was different for me on this trip personally was going through customs. I didn't expect it to take as long. It was quite a long, lengthy process for that, but everything else about the trip was okay.
I go on the trips for the last 30 years. We have been accustomed to putting ourselves in danger, so I don't get nervous about that at all. I don't get nervous. My family, they can be a little bit more apprehensive, I think, than what I am. So you don't always share all the facts with them while you're away. Maybe let them know once you get home, tell them what's happened, what's gone on. Especially my own parents, they get a bit nervous when I do come away. But I always think it's worth it. I think it's you're helping people that are less fortunate than yourself. You've got all this equipment that's lying at home doing nothing, and I think it gets put to fantastic use when it does come across here.
Start the journey, we left Edinburgh. We got to just about Newcastle, and this thing started giving a bit of fuel troubles, so we looked into it, found it was choked for fuel filters, so we got them cleaned out as best we could. Carried on, we had another 3 stops between Hull and over into Poland. We got fuel filters in Germany, so we changed them. Once we got them changed, the filters seemed to cure it a good bit. We had 8 stops with it overall. We've just newly drained the fuel out of it, cleaned the tank as much as we could. So hopefully it'll reach Dnipro tomorrow or into Wednesday without any fixes. So it's fine. It's good. It's an older machine, so it's a lot easier to fix than the newer ones. It's sometimes on the trip. So no, it's happy to be part of the mechanic and team of it.
Got a turntable ladder from Cruitall Fire Station in Edinburgh, which I used to work on, and myself and one of my colleagues drove that vehicle from when it was new, when it was eventually the Scottish Fire and Rescue Service decided it was surplus. SERA purchased the vehicle and we've brought it over here. It's now on its way to Poltava, where it will save many lives.
As far as the camaraderie of the group goes, members are changing quite often. There are a few of us who've been doing it since 2007, me, Gary, Ricky, Rab. Lots of people here on this trip I've met for the first time. It happens quite a lot. It happens quite a lot. You meet people for the first time on some trips. But there's always a camaraderie, a kinship, you know, everybody. We're all here for the same reason and pulling in the same direction. So it all goes smoothly. We don't have any fallouts or anything like that, you know, not seeing eye to eye. We all get along fine, and we're quite happy to be involved with it, you know, so it's all good.
I volunteered 4 years ago. There was a call went out for volunteers to drive fire engines to the Ukraine and to do a bit of training. I was in the fire service myself in the workshops, so I was able to help them with the mechanical side of things. And this is my 3rd trip with them. We brought over 2 pickups, a turntable ladder and 4 fire appliances. And that was because Gary the leader, he spoke to the guys in Dnipro, Kharkiv and Poltava and asked them what equipment they needed. And we collated and collected all of the equipment, loaded the vehicles up, set a date and drove out. And it's been an absolute pleasure to do this, to help our colleagues in Ukraine. We also help in Serbia, Moldova, But at the moment, Ukraine is the priority with what they're going through with this illegal war that's going on.